What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the AI show with AI. Today, we're going to be reviewing a resume. One of my new friends I made online. Today, I'll call him Vin Diesel because he's cool and collected like him. And he said, "Hey, AI, mind taking a look at my resume? Feel free to make a video if you want. Maybe it's going to be useful to somebody else as well." I thought that was a great idea, so here we are. So a little bit background about Vin. Um, he feels like that his resume is more fitted to be a business analyst rather than a data analyst. Before we start, I'm just gonna say that I'm not a trained resume expert. I'm just gonna be reviewing this as if I was in Vin's shoes. This was my work experience. What would I want my resume to look like? So Vin Diesel, I have blocked out some of his personal information, right? I don't want this person, everybody reaching out to him, being like, "Hey, Vin, you're so cool. Like, give us your autograph." So what he's doing great is he has his LinkedIn personal information, his GitHub account. So he has a GitHub account. So that tells me that you're probably fitted to be a data analyst rather than a business analyst. So one thing we have to build up is your confidence. All right, so let's get going. As you can see here, Vin starts with my least favorite section, the summary section. I say it's my least favorite because every resume starts with, "I am passionate about something," right? In this case, he wants a data job, and so he's passionate about analyzing processes. If you weren't passionate about it, you probably wouldn't have been applying for it, right? So, but let's learn a little bit more about Vin. He likes Python, R, SQL. That's what he has experience with. And he has interfacing IT and management and cross-cultural team excites him. So again, I'm just gonna delete this section because that's just not my style, and I'm making my own resume here. So we're gonna delete this. We're gonna start fresh. So let's just put here in the name Vin Diesel. He lives on 12th fast lane because he loves his racing cars, but he has decided to be a data analyst after the filming of his latest movie, and his son is now growing up, so he wants to take it back a little bit and raise his son. So he's gonna need some data analyst salary in order to support his family. All right, let's review Vin's professional experience. So he interned at a intern. Let's see where intern. Sorry, I want to see. He interned at a bank, and this was in Europe. So this is good experience, right? At least it shows you have done something. But again, your resume, from what I'm seeing here in your professional experience, I don't see how you know Python, R, or SQL. I see you worked or managed some chatbot process. If you built a chatbot, I would put like generating chatbot in Python. Even if you manage the chatbot and somebody did it in Python, at least put that so that people are gonna know that you did work with technical people. I'll delete that because I don't know that information. If you managed people, put how many people. Managed 7 technical people, and in the process of generating a chatbot. I'm not an English major. You guys can fix this later, or how you want to say it, but that's the idea. Put numbers wherever you can. We're gonna go down here. We see event organization and coordination of the drone racing event. That is cool. I always say show that you're a human, even if it's not technical. We're gonna leave it in there because you did lead a team of 6 people. And drone racing is like an unusual event and skill that you have been a part of. You also refugee integration and resettlement operations. This sounds very noble, but we need to add more data-driven experience, right? because if somebody's hiring a data person and it's great that you're a civil service associate, but when they hire you for a company, they're not looking for you to host refugees, right? Or host their events. We scroll down to your education. You have a Master's of Business Analytics, which is excellent. You're going to be graduating in a couple of months. You have another Master's. Okay, that's awesome. Bachelor's here. You won some prize, which is great. And then we scroll down to your relevant experience and skills and certifications. This, I don't know what any of these things mean. I see you did some experience, but seems a lot of it AUT. I assume that means Austria. You don't really show what the skills are you have. So what we're gonna do is, just because I don't understand this part, I'm gonna delete it. And you have your skills and certifications. So what I'm gonna do is, and feel free, you can leave them at the bottom, you can leave them at the top. Just because of my resume video, I put them at the top. So I'm gonna do this the same, and that's just the way how I've always done it. It's what's helped me land my job. So I'm gonna talk through my reasoning for it. Take your skills and certifications. Put them up here, right? All right, so I cut a part of the video. I wanted to spare you the whole indentation, editing, and things like that. But what I see now here is, if I'm a hiring manager, I open your resume and I'm like, okay, Vin Diesel has technical skills. That's what I'm looking for. I don't have to scroll all the way to the bottom, search for them, and then figure it out at the end, right? First impressions matter. So now I open here and I'm like, okay, this person knows Tableau, Python, R, SQL, machine learning, JavaScript. This was shown in your summary, right? But now we're just making it pop. All right, let's go to the next section now. What Vin Diesel has is a GitHub page with a lot of good work experience. So I'll open it here on my screen just because I don't want to share his profile. I don't know if he's okay with that. He's done World Bank analysis, ML classification model development, unsupervised machine learning, ML regression. So he has 6 projects in here. So instead of the relevant experience that Vin used to have, which really didn't make sense to me, I didn't understand what that was. We're gonna put some of his academic projects he's done, because before you actually get into the workforce, you really want to showcase that you're qualified to do the job. So this section is very important. I'm just gonna start it for Vin, but I'm gonna expect him to continue changing this one and tweaking it based on the job that he's applying for. So what do I mean by this is, when I was applying for like an HR analytics job, I would put the projects that are related to that. In school, I had done an employee attrition project and working with HR data. I would put that project here. When I was applying for a finance position, one of my final projects I had done was on loan cancellations and loan delinquencies. I would put that here. If I was applying for a marketing job, I would put a project that is related to marketing. If you don't have any of those, either try to work on something that is relevant, or then just put whatever it's the closest. So this one, let's assume that Vin is going for a finance data analyst. So I'm gonna use his World Bank analysis project. All right, World Bank analysis. I took this part straight from his GitHub. I saw he analyzed the data in Python, and what he was doing was using data to find the biggest challenges the people in sub-Saharan Africa face. He didn't have a conclusion, so Vin, when you're watching this, every project you do, you introduce, okay, this is the problem that I'm trying to solve, but at the end, add what came out of your data analysis, because I have to scroll down and I can't really figure out what your project led to. All right, we're gonna add one more project. I like to add 2 things in there that are relevant. I think the one thing that I saw was pretty cool that you've been a part of, I'll just add it here, is a codathon. And it says here creation of a digital assistant for hotels. So I'll copy this straight out of your resume. Let's just keep the text. What size is this? It's size 12. And I want you to show again for every project, what was the outcome of that? If you don't have that, like a specific number, estimate, or just come up with some educational guess. So for this case, I'm just gonna stand a number. So creation of a digital assistant for hotels. If you created that, that means it benefited the hotel in some way. So in this case, right, I assume improved customer service, for example. So we're gonna put that, or which improved customer service quality by 15%, or customer service satisfaction by 15%. So put that in there. You really have to showcase you are your own brand, and this is what you're showing it because you have great experience. So now when you're looking at your resume, you have your technical side, you've done a project in Python, you've participated in a real world project for a hotel, and now we're starting to see Vin Diesel, the data analyst. But you see now, we're looking that like, all right, this person doesn't have too much data analysis experience in his internship, but he has all of this to make up for it. Now we also scroll down and then we see, all right, he has a master's of business analytics, he has a bachelor's communications and IT, master's in international business, he's done study abroad. I mean, to me, this person, if I had a position open right now, I would hire you, Vin Diesel. The last thing I added on here is links to portfolio, right? Just as Vin had in the original. Add your GitHub, add your LinkedIn, so that people, when they're looking at it, they can go straight and take you there. Last thing I'm gonna add is all of these sections, the skills and certifications, academic experience, professional experience, feel free if you wanna move them around a little bit. I just want you to be comfortable with the resume you're handing in. I don't want you handed in because I said to do it. This is what's worked for me. This is what's landed me my last 3 jobs. If you don't feel comfortable putting your skills and certifications first, I know it's a little bit unconventional. That's not what you've been taught in school and the proper way to do it. But I treat this like art. You're branding yourself right. You don't want to be everybody. Put your skills there. Make it pop. Again, if you don't feel comfortable, put your education first, followed by your skills, and then your other experience here. This shows that you're a master of business analytics, shows your skills here, and then shows your relevant work experience. This person is a data analyst with great technical skills, amazing projects, who's worked in some internships because he's trying to work his way up. And he has a GitHub portfolio, has a LinkedIn. I don't know if he has a Tableau public, but he'll make one because he's great at Tableau as well. Before we wrap up, hopefully you all enjoyed this. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. Keep up with the other videos because ultimately your resume is just one part. I talk in my other videos that most jobs I've gotten is through networking and through somebody I know. Because if you don't know anybody, just cold applying is very, very tough. Again, networking, this your resume, they're gonna get you in the door, but ultimately you have to be great at interviewing. I have a video on that as well that you can watch. Feel free, reach out to me with any questions you have, any video suggestions, and then I'll be happy to work with you one-on-one, or we can make a video out of it to help others. So thank you once again, and I'll see you next time.